Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity basketball is live and on the air. We are live at the main gym at Pioneer High School, where it is Pioneer men's varsity basketball taking on the Skyline Eagles. It's an Ann Arbor battle, and those always bring the fans out. Pioneer is 5-3 on the season. Their 3 losses are to Ypsilanti Lincoln, Saline, and to Wayne Memorial. Skyline is 2-6. Their 2 lone wins were to Ypsilanti Community and Plymouth. Their losses were to Jackson, Saline, Huron, Warren, Lincoln, Hazel Park, North Farmington, and Harper Woods. So, Coach Ahrens is with us today. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great, Mark. How you doing?
Doing very well. You were able to talk to the coaches before the game?
Yes, and I always enjoy doing that. And,
Indeed.
I'm making connections with a lot of coaches in Ann Arbor on this job. First, I went to Skyline's bench and met John Lamar Hamilton. This is his 3rd season at the helm. He took over for Mike Lovelace, who now is coaching the girls' team at Skyline and has his daughter on the team.
Oh, very nice.
We were kind of debating if she's been up since she's a freshman. She might be a sophomore. She might be a junior.
Sure.
But I enjoyed coaching there, being Mike's assistant one season when we first moved to Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
So Coach Hamilton, I asked him how he thinks the season's going thus far. Other than that 2-6 record, he says, I'm keeping everything in perspective. We are a very young team. Most nights we're starting 2 freshmen and 1 sophomore, and we're learning every night. And we got to learn to keep leads. All our games have been close, and we've had leads, but because of lack of experience than anything, they lose those leads. I asked him tonight what he thinks the key factors are to win. He said keep the turnovers low, play hard, teamwork, and control the emotions. Coach Marion said that his concerns with Skyline is that they have to play consistently against them, not let those runs get going too long.
Indeed.
And play defense. He says we got to win the battle in the paint. So he talked briefly about the Ypsi Lincoln game and that 1 bad quarter.
Yeah.
I asked him about the shot clock going to 35. He's in favor, and Coach Hamilton is in favor of that too.
I would think a lot of the coaches are. It's probably just more the administrators trying to make it happen that occasionally have a question on that, as we're about to have the national anthem. So we'll step away for a moment and to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. about to have the starting lineups for both of these squads. As the Pioneer cheerleaders line up to the right. As we do have the officials as well, so working on the, you want to read off the officials there, Coach?
Sure. Tonight we got Mike Kanabush. He's a 43-year veteran.
Wow.
And he's out of Monroe. We have Brian Bauer, 28 years experience from Whitmore Lake. A.J. Haddock, 18 years experience from Dexter. It's a total of 89 years.
Wow. That is... It's amazing and wonderful, and yet again it tells us we need more young officials because these folks are great, but they can't do it forever. So if you think you can do better, if you have a passion for basketball, helping out the game, please reach out to the MHSAA. Here comes. So Bird, starter for Skyline. He comes out number one. Henry Bailey being announced for Pioneer. Skyline is in their gray uniforms. Sek, starter for Skyline. He comes out wearing number 14. Boylan for Pioneer heads out number 15. McBride, number 0, starting for Skyline. Number 2, Harrison comes out for Pioneer. Williams, number 3, starting for Skyline. Ellington, number 4 for Pioneers, starting. And Wall, who's a freshman, starting for Skyline. As Duloban, wearing number 13. I'm going to have to change that on my list, as he is a starter as well. So, of course, John Lamar Hamilton, head coach of Skyline. Rich Marion, head coach of Pioneer. Pioneer in their home whites with Pioneer in block lettering across the front, numbers in purple on the front and on the back, the purple piping down the sides. Skyline in gray jerseys with their baby blue numbers on the front and back. I think that says Skyline across the front. It's awful light. And gray shorts with purple piping on it. Coach Aaron's with us, as well as Andy Spencer doing our stats. And Christina Wiseman, our camera operator. As we are underway, Ellington gets it over to Dulogan. Dulogan back to Ellington. Brings it ahead for Pioneer. Ellington over midcourt. Ellington down the far side of the paint. Up, wouldn't go off the near side of the rim, but there is a whistle. That is going to be a foul on McBride, his first of the game. Ellington, the inbound, baseline left. Ellington gets it out to Harrison. Harrison just off the top of the key. Harrison coming down the near side of the paint. Stops. Sends it back to Bailey. Bailey hands it off to Ellington on the far wing. Ellington now trying to come down the far side of the paint. Dishes that off to Bailey. Back to Ellington, top of the key. Over on the near wing. Harrison for 3. Off the rim. Wouldn't go. Rebound to side by Sek. Here comes Skyline bringing it ahead. As with it is Williams. Williams over midcourt. Watched by Ellington. Over on the near wing, McBride. McBride moves it over to Berg, now over on the far wing. That's Williams with it. Williams on the far sideline, being watched by Harrison. That ball over to Wall. Wall on the near wing. Wall gets it back over as McBride back over to Sek on the near wing. There's a three-pointer up and in. Three-pointer by Wall. As it's 3-0, Skyline with the lead. Pioneer into the far corner. Three-pointer wouldn't go. Rebound by Bailey, who puts it up and in. Bailey with the rebound in the basket. He has 2, and it's 3-2. Skyline with the lead. Bringing it ahead is McBride. McBride over midcourt, over on the near wing for Williams. Williams trying to work against Ellington. Hits that back over to Berg now on the far wing for McBride. McBride coming down the far sideline. That ball on the baseline. Bounce pass, and that will go back in the backcourt, over and back. It is going to be Pioneer ball. 6:20 left to go. Skyline up by 1, 3-2. As a big Pioneer student crowd here, as well as a good Skyline crowd. Lots of parents here. Good crowd for both of these squads. As Saito gets it over to Dulogan. Dulogan down the far side of the paint. Harrison for 3. Off the side of the rim. Pulled down by McBride. McBride brings it ahead over midcourt. McBride, top of the key. McBride over on the far wing. Gets that back over. As that's Williams with it. Williams comes top of the key. That's stolen away by Saito. Saito the other direction. Here comes Harrison for Pioneer. Harrison dishes it off. Bailey, top of the key. Now that fired by Saito for 3, and he hits it. Saito with 3 points, and it's 5-3. Pioneer with the lead. 5:34 left to go here in the first. McBride brings it ahead for Skyline over midcourt. Dulogan watches him there. McBride, as that goes up into the stands. That will be Pioneer's ball as they'll inbound on the near sideline. 5:25 left to go here in the first. Ball inbounded to Harrison. Harrison brings the head. Pioneer up by 2. Harrison over to Saito on the far sideline. Saito, top of the key. Now over on the near wing. With it, Harrison working his way around the arc. Harrison over to into the near corner for Harrison. Now Bailey has it. Bailey trying to work his way top of the key. Hands it off to Dulogan. Dulogan now over to Harrison. Harrison underneath the Boylan. Boylan in the paint. Turns, puts it up. Rims all the way around and out. Tough luck miss. Skyline with the ball. The opportunity to take the lead on a three-pointer. Williams puts it up. That off the rim. Falls off to the far side. That is a block, but a whistle underneath. That is going to be a foul. Bailey picks up his first foul, as that is going to put Bird to the line, shooting 2. 4:42 left to go. Bird puts the first one up and in. Nothing but net there. That's his first points. 5-4. Pioneer with a 1-point lead. Bird can tie with this free throw. Bird dribbles the ball, eyes the rim, puts it up, puts it in. Nothing but net on both of those, and it's 5-5. Pioneer with the ball, bringing ahead with 4:39 left to go here in the first. Saito in the front court, gets it over to Bailey on the near wing. Bounce pass, now over to Harrison. Harrison coming down, putting it up and in. Harrison with his first points of the game. He has 2, and it's 7-5. Pioneer with the lead. Bringing at his Wall over midcourt for Skyline, working against Dulogan. Wall trying to get it over on the far wing as Sek had it. Popped up in the air, but that's going to be a foul on Pioneer. Harrison picks up his first foul. Second on Pioneer, 1 on Skyline. Skyline, they inbound. That gets over to Redder. Redder stolen away. Here comes Harrison. Harrison, one-on-one on the near side of the paint, up and in. Basket counts, and an opportunity to make it an old-fashioned three-point play.
Great footwork by Harrison there, and he kept his timing, and he went up strong on that shot, and he wanted to get to the line, and he did.
Free throw up by Harrison, and good. He has 3 points now, and it's 10-5. Pioneer with a 5-point lead. Skyline inbounds to Sek. Sek trying to get past, puts it up and in. Basket counts, and the foul. I believe Dulogan's going to pick up that foul, as it was a really good inbound pass to a racing Sek. I think he said Dulogan picked it up. It wouldn't go. Dulogan with the rebound. Here comes Dulogan over midcourt. Dulogan into the paint as that ball out of bounds. Valiant attempt by Boylan to keep it from going out of bounds. That's going to be Skyline's ball as they will inbound it baseline left. Whitridge in for Pioneer to get a little height. So Wall brings it ahead for Skyline over midcourt. Dulogan picks him up there. 3:46 left to go. Tipped away. Dulogan has it. Coming down the near wing for Pioneer with a 3-point lead. Dulogan has it on the ground. And that is going to be a foul on Skyline, trying to get the tie up. That's going to be a foul on Bird. That is his first, I believe. But both teams, good energy going down to the ground, both trying to get those hustle points there.
Number 0, Anders Whitridge, just entered the game for Pioneer. This is his first game since 7th grade, Mark.
Wow.
He's 6'8" and a senior.
Bailey puts it up, that off the rim. Well, he definitely has some height, and we'll see how that plays with the rebounds and in the paint. As McBride has it for Skyline, down by 3. Moved over to Sek on the far wing. Sek gets it over on the near wing to McBride. That tipped up. Whitridge gets the steal over. Harrison puts it up a little too hard off the glass. Pulled down by Redder. Bring it over as Williams on the near sideline. Williams floats it into the far corner for Bird. Bird up the baseline. Bird bounce pass out of bounds. Oh, that'll be Pioneer's ball, I believe. No, that'll be Skyline's ball as Bird inbound baseline right. 2:59 left to go here in the first. 10-7. Pioneer with the 3-point lead. Now McBride will inbound baseline right for Skyline. Over to Sek on the near wing. Sek trying to get it to Bird back in the near corner for Williams. Williams puts up the 3. That is his first points. So 10-10 is the score. 2:47 left to go in the first. Harrison for Pioneer, back over to Saito, back to Harrison. Harrison coming down the baseline. Harrison dishes it off to Bailey for 3. Off the rim, pulled down by Skyline. Williams quickly the other way to Bird. Bird in flip 8 for Skyline. That off the bottom of the rim, pulled down. Ellington the other direction for Pioneer. Ellington over midcourt. Ellington puts on the gas into the paint. Over to Harrison for 3. He hits it, nothing but net on that one. Harrison with 6 points, and it is 13-10. Pioneer with the lead. McBride with the ball for Skyline in the backcourt. 2:05 left to go here in the first. McBride over midcourt. Ellington picks him up there. McBride over on the far wing. Over into the far corner. That dished off to Sek at the top of the key. Sek down the near side of the paint. There's a 3-pointer. Off the rim, pulled down by Ellington, heading the other direction. Ellington over to Saito for a 3. Off the near side, the far side of the rim, out of bounds. Whitridge tried to get the rebound, but his momentum took him out of bounds. 1:43 left to go. Saito in for Pioneer. Now McBride in the backcourt for Skyline. 13-10, Pioneer with the lead. McBride on the far sideline. Ellington watching him. McBride comes down the far sideline, down the baseline, off that shot off the side of the rim. Ellington with the rebound, ahead to Saito. Saito puts it up off the glass, wouldn't go. Pulled down by Bird. Bird for Skyline, has it in the backcourt. 1:19 left to go here in the first. McBride on the far sideline. McBride works his way down the far side of the paint. And out of bounds. Pioneer's ball. It looked like he was trying to get it over to Redder, and just off of his fingertips out of bounds. 1:09 left to go. Pioneer with the lead and the basket in the backcourt. Ellington brings it ahead. Ellington over on the near wing for Side. Side comes top of the key. Over to Whitridge. Now Harrison, as he got fouled, trying to head towards the paint. Williams picks up his first foul. That's 3 on Pioneer, 4 on Skyline. One more on Skyline that will put Pioneer to the line. Ellington has it just inside of midcourt. Ellington now moves it over to Whitridge. Whitridge. Whistle and off-ball foul. That's going to be on Cy. So that's a charge on Cy off ball. And that'll be Skyline's ball with 48.3 seconds left to go. McBride inbounds. Williams brings it ahead for Skyline. The official goes over, talks to the scorer's table. So Wall will inbound. So Wall to inbound for Skyline. Williams has it in the backcourt. Williams working against Saito. Williams out of bounds, steps out of bounds. Saito using the sideline as an extra defender there, and that was good defense by Saito.
We always call that sideline and baseline our sixth man when we're on defense.
Absolutely. Great observation coming ahead. Ellington over midcourt. Ellington moves it over on the far sideline. Underneath to Harrison. Harrison puts it up off glass. Wouldn't go. Tip back to Saito. Now into the near corner. That ball up and in. Harrison with it as he has 8 leading all scorers. So it's 15-10. Pioneer with the lead. Williams on the far wing down the far side of the paint. Whitridge with the block. Out of bounds. That will be Skyline's ball. But a good block by Whitridge. Nothing but ball on that one. Already letting his height be known inside of there. Bird to inbound, baseline right. Bird gets it into Wall on the far wing. Wall into the paint. That put up from the far corner. Tip the ring. Whitridge with the rebound. Here comes Cy for Pioneer. Puts it up at the buzzer. Off glass. It wouldn't go. 15-10 Pioneer with the first quarter lead. What are your thoughts on that first quarter there, Coach?
A good first quarter. Some quick numbers we have here. There's quite a difference. Skyline has turned the ball over 7 times already. And Pioneer doesn't have any turnovers. Pioneer has about twice as many field goal attempts, which indicates to me that the defense has given up those attempts.
Indeed.
Opportunities. So
interesting enough, 7 was the same number of turnovers they caused in the game versus Lincoln on Monday in the first quarter. So
yeah.
They're going to hope to keep that momentum up the entire game this time.
Correct. And reflecting back on that sideline, that's a good observation. And as a defensive coach, I just mentioned the sideline and baseline. We also use a 10-second line because when you're over, you can't go over and back.
Absolutely.
And I'm a full court press guy, half court press. Just one of our rules is I always force the ball to the sidelines. So we get some extra help there.
Makes all manner of sense.
And going back to those turnovers, sometimes they'll turn it over themselves because they don't see the daylight through that, or if we got double team pressure and our hands up, we call that a forced turnover.
As in the backcourt, here comes Williams over midcourt. Williams gets it over to Bird on the near wing for Skyline. Now top of the key for Peterson. Over on the far wing, Williams comes top of the key. Williams has Ellington on him. Williams trying to come down the far side of the paint, dishes that off underneath. That ball given to Bird. Bird double team, puts it up. That spins off the near side of the rim. Rebound by Whitridge, and I believe he was fouled after that rebound. It does appear it will be Pioneers' ball. So I believe that's Peterson who picked up the foul. Pioneer brings it ahead as Ellington over midcourt. Ellington bounce pass to Whitridge. Whitridge on that far wing. Whitridge hands it off to Harrison. Harrison Coming into the far corner, Harrison over to Logan. Harrison back top of the key. Harrison gets a little room to work. Trying to work against Sek. Into the far corner. Here comes Logan down the baseline. Logan. That ball over to Whitwidge. Whitwidge back to Ellington. Ellington down into the paint. Ellington. That shot is going to be a charge on Ellington. So Ellington, they'll get him for a little push off there. Offensive foul, and it will be Skyline's ball. One foul on each team with 7:03 left to go here in the second. Skyline inbounds in the backcourt. Full court pressure by Pioneer. Quickly add to Bird, down into the paint. Bird puts it up, off glass, off rim, wouldn't go. Rebound put up, as that wouldn't go. That rebound was by Peterson, out of bounds, and that looks like that's going to be Pioneer's ball. 6:51 left to go here in the second. 5-point lead by Pioneer, 15-10. Ellington brings it ahead. Ellington over midcourt. Ellington gets it on the far sideline. Ellington into the far corner. Over into the near corner. Here comes Logan. Puts it up off the near side of the rim. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Skyline as Wall with it into the near corner. 3 points. Rolls all the way around and in. That was McBride for 3. That is his first points of the game. So it brings up a 15-13, 2-point lead for Pioneer. Ellington now down the baseline over to Logan. Up and in. Logan with his first points of the game. He has 2, and it's back to a 17-13 lead for Pioneer. McBride over midcourt for Skyline with 6:04 left to go before halftime. McBride working against Ellington, gets a screen, top of the key. Now McBride over into the far corner. There's a three-pointer. Peterson with the rebound for Skyline, back over to Sek. Sek makes his way into the paint, knocked away. Whitridge has it. Whitridge over to Ellington. Ellington ahead for Pioneer, 17-13 Pioneer with the lead. There's Logan trying to get back to Ellington, that out of bounds. Bailey comes back in for Pioneer. Both of these defenses seem to have a lot of energy and seem to be fairly physical.
Just made a note of that, especially in the paint. You know, you usually don't see many young players banging like they are right now, offensive end and the defensive end.
On to the near wing. Bailey gets it back to Harrison. Harrison comes down into the paint, down on the baseline. Harrison over into the far corner. Logan for 3, and he hits it. Logan now has 5 points, and it's 20-13. Pioneer with a 7-point lead. McBride brings it over midcourt for Skyline. McBride working against Ellington, comes to the near wing. McBride to the paint. That ball loose, picked up. Here comes Pioneer the other direction. Harrison down the far side of the paint. Little hard off the glass. Wouldn't go for Richardson. Now coming the other direction is Skyline. Coming down the far wing is Wall. Wall dishes it off to Sek. Sek has it on the far sideline. That fired up and three-pointer. Up and in for Wall. Wall has 2 3-pointers as he has 6 points.
Celebrated a little too much.
He turned and looked right at the Pioneer bench and celebrated, and that's going to be a technical. You can get away with something like that in the NBA, although some of the old heads might argue with you. But high school, they try and keep that thing to a minimum. So here comes the technical by Harrison. Up and in, Harrison makes it 9 points for him, trying to make it an even 10. Especially with young teams, those emotions can get the better of you sometimes. As Harrison hits the second one, he has 10 points. 22-16 is the Pioneer lead. So 8-point lead. Pioneer will inbound. And it's tough because you had big momentum from a three-pointer, and the technical kind of takes some of that momentum away. Harrison in the front court for Pioneer. Gets it back from Richardson. Harrison down the baseline, and he's fouled from behind. That is going to be Sek, who picks up his first foul. 3 fouls on Skyline. 1 on Pioneer. Harrison to the line again. Harrison puts up and in. Nothing but net on that one. Harrison with a game high. 11 points, trying to make it 12. Peterson goes out for Skyline. Next shot by Harrison, nothing but net. He has 12 points. As Sek goes over, he gets a breather. So 11, I have that as Gutierrez. In as over midcourt is McBride. McBride trying to work his way. Dulogan watching him. Over to Bird on the far wing. Bird. Double team. Knocked away. Here comes Harrison down the near side of the paint. Finger roll up and in. Harrison with 14 points, and it's 26-16. Timeout called. Skyline wants to talk it over, but Pioneer trying to make the most out of this Ann Arbor rivalry, trying to really get that young team down and make it so they don't have that confidence to come back.
Well, I'm sure in the Skyline huddle they're talking about Harrison right now. You just said 14 of the 26 points.
Absolutely.
And Harrison's doing what he always does. He penetrates well. He's got his head up, and he'll take what the defense gives him.
Indeed.
So I think what Pioneer has to do is keep this momentum.
Indeed.
And don't let this timeout change the run.
Absolutely. And that was something that Lincoln really did a good job of keeping Pioneer out of the paint. Harrison didn't quite have his normal number of points on Monday. And now you see he's really eager to get that going in this game.
And he's really improved in that part of the game.
Absolutely.
From last season. And I think I mentioned before, the biggest difference I see is heads up. His
Indeed.
eyes, he sees his four other teammates, and he sees what the defense is doing to adjust to that dribble penetration.
Absolutely. The key to this Pioneer team, Skyline to inbound on the near sideline. McBride inbounds it. That tipped away by Dulogan, but out of bounds. That will be again McBride to inbound.
Probably the biggest number here to look at is Skyline's turned it over 11 times.
Ooh.
We're halfway through the second quarter. Pioneers only turned it over once.
Good ball control by Pioneer, as that's going to be a travel, as Gutierrez on that far sideline trying to get a three-pointer, and he shuffled the feet. That's going to be Pioneer's ball with 4:04 left to go before halftime. 26-16, 10-point lead by Pioneer. Ellington brings it ahead for Pioneer. Over midcourt, Ellington. That tipped away. Good hands by McBride to get into the passing lane. Pioneer will have to inbound. Richardson will inbound on the near sideline. Gutierrez watching him. Inbounded to Dulogan. Dulogan gets it back over to Ellington. Just inbound. Over midcourt. Now Richardson over to Bailey. Harrison on the far wing. Underneath. Up and in by Richardson. Richardson with his first points. He has two, and it's 26-16. And so far that makes 5 points off the bench for Pioneer. None so far for Skyline. As Williams gets it over to Bird. Bird in the near corner. Bird dishes it back to Sek down the near side of the paint. Sek. There's a fallback shot. Missed, but Bird gets the rebound, puts it up, puts it in. Yeah, it's going to be Richardson with his first foul. Bird to the line. 3:20 left to go. Bird with the first shot, up and in. That makes a three-point play. That'll give Bird 5 points. 28-19. Pioneer with a 9-point lead. Harrison has it on the far wing. Harrison gets it to Dulogan down the near side of the paint. Floater wouldn't go. Rebound, grabbed by Bird. Bird gets it over to McBride. Here comes Skyline. Under 3 minutes left to go before halftime. McBride over midcourt. Dulogan watching him. Whitridge looking to come in for Pioneer at the next stoppage. Bird into the near corner. Bird trying to get away from Harrison. And that's going to be a turnover. Pioneer paws the air. That's going to be a inbound. Richardson inbound baseline right. 2:42 left to go here in the second. 9-point lead for Pioneer, trying to stretch it out to double digits. Peterson back in for Skyline. Ellington brings it up the middle of the court for Pioneer. Ellington over midcourt. That over to Whitridge. Whitridge has it on the far wing. Whitridge hands it off to Harrison. Harrison kind of off on that far wing. Back over to Ellington. Ellington dishes off to Harrison in the far corner. Harrison double teamed over to DeLogan for a three. DeLogan hits the three-pointer. He has 8 points, and it's 31-19. Pioneer with the lead. Skyline brings ahead as Williams over midcourt. Picked up there by Ellington. Williams over on the far sideline. Now Peterson down the far side of the paint. Peterson picks up the dribble. Peterson spinning with it, looking for a place to go. Gets it over to Williams off the top of the key. Williams on the near wing. Williams into the near corner as Gutierrez hands it back off. Williams coming down the baseline, and that'll be a turnover out of bounds. Richardson will inbound it baseline right. 1 minute, 45 seconds left to go before halftime. Gutierrez goes out. So McBride back in for Skyline. Ellington in the backcourt, bringing ahead for Pioneer with an 11-point lead, 31-19. As Ellington, that's going to be a foul on McBride. Ellington made a nifty fake to the right, moved to the left, and that caused the foul. It was good ball handling. Richardson inbound on the near sideline. Wall watching the inbound pass. Richardson gets it over to Ellington just inside of midcourt. 1:36 left to go before halftime. Whitridge on the far wing. Hands off to Harrison, working his way around the arc. Ellington on the near wing, comes top of the key. Now underneath the Whitridge, who puts it up and in. Whitridge with his first points of the game. And it's 33-19. 1:19 left to go before halftime. Here comes McBride for Skyline in the front court. McBride picked up by DeLogan. That's going to be a whistle and a foul. DeLogan will pick up that foul. That is his second. 3 on Pioneer, 4 on Skyline. One more foul on Skyline, and Pioneer will be shooting 2 from the line. As that ball inbounded by Wall. Saito back in for Pioneer. Over midcourt is McBride on the far wing. McBride comes top of the key, tipped away by Ellington. Here comes Harrison. Harrison in the backcourt. Harrison over midcourt, gets over to Ellington in the far corner. Ellington down the baseline. Ellington, ball knocked away. Skyline's ball. 52.8 seconds left to go. And this is absolutely the biggest crowd we've seen thus far this year, as is known to happen when the Ann Arbor schools play each other. The women's team are over at Skyline playing today. Bringing up is Williams over midcourt. We'll have the women's team versus Dearborn. That'll be Monday. As Williams, that's going to be a reach-in foul on Ellington. Ellington picks up his second foul. Oh, no, excuse me, his first. Okay. 4 apiece on both teams. Ellington goes out. Cy comes in to give him a breather. As Wall to inbound on the far sideline. Wall gets it into Williams. Now on the near wing, trying to work his way in is Peterson. Peterson puts it up and in, rolls down the pipe, and here comes Pioneer the other direction. 33-21, Pioneer with a 12-point lead. 21 seconds left. Harrison in the front court. Looks like they're going to play for the last basket. Harrison comes over on the near side of the court with 12 seconds left to go. 10 seconds left to go. Harrison gets it over to Richardson, then gets it back on the far wing. Harrison into the far corner, and off to Whitridge, up and in. Whitridge with 4 points. And that is the end of the first. So at the end of one, it is 35-21. And taking a look right now at the scores, 4 points for Whitridge, 4 points for Bailey, 14 for Harrison, 2 for Richardson, 3 for Saito, and 8 for Dula Ogun. And if you're counting, that is 9 points, 9 paint points, 9 points from the bench in the first for Pioneer. On the other side, McBride with 3, 5 for Bird, 3 for Williams, 2 for Peterson, 2 for Seck, and 6 for Wall. So that's 2 points from the bench for Skyline.
Those are good numbers. Those are good. You get 9 points from your bench in the first half, and the score's 35. That adds up.
Absolutely.
Did you say the number of points Seck had? Number 14.
He had 2 points from what I could see, unless I misattributed it to someone else there.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked, he's the team's leading scorer.
Gotcha.
And leading rebounder, and coach said probably his best defender.
He has looked very solid on defense thus far in this game.
Yeah, and coach says he can defend any of the 5 positions. Looking at the first half as a whole, you got to mention Harrison's name.
Absolutely.
He's been essentially the Pioneer offense, and I'm sure Skyline's making some adjustments in the locker room right now. But what I really notice is, man, this is a competitive game with these two teams.
Yes.
They're going toe-to-toe. And again, they're younger teams, but it doesn't seem to matter. And to me, that's a good game to measure mental toughness.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean both teams are playing predominantly man-to-man defense, so you're going to toe-to-toe with your opponent.
Yeah.
And neither end is taking time off. You got to be mentally tough to stay in a man-to-man defense a whole half. And sometimes the mental toughness has broke down for Pioneer, and that number appears in your turnovers. I think they have a total of 7 right now. So mental toughness, I'd give the edge to Pioneer, but we got a half to go, and it should be a good second half.
Yeah, boy, it's been a lot of energy by both of these teams. Hustle points have been both squads diving to the ground. It's been really good that way.
Well, our statistician Andy's got Pioneer with 18 points in the paint in the first half, with Skyline with 6 from the arc. Pioneer shooting a very respectable 44%.
Nice.
And Skyline is 4 for 8 and shooting 50%.
Indeed.
So both teams are shooting well there. I just had some numbers, did some homework last night.
Yeah.
The average number of three-point field goals made by a team, and this is the whole United States, is 12.8. We'll call it 13.
Sure, yeah.
Made. So that 3 times 13, there's about 39 points right there.
That's a good deal of points coming from the paint. As it looks like right now, Indiana is leading Oregon 7-0. They're getting off to a big lead there. It's a heck of a time for Indiana sports right now. It's a heck of a time for Michigan basketball as well, but we'll leave that be.
Men and women, yeah.
Yeah, indeed, boy.
Yeah.
Neither team called the timeout there, so both coaches letting the momentum go, letting the squads play there. So that was interesting to see.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because as a coach, there's times you got to let your team learn to play through whatever it is right now, whatever the challenge is. And you don't want to always use that timeout. You want to always save your timeouts.
Yeah.
Coach Marion was talking about that earlier. You like to have at least one at the end of the game, if possible.
Absolutely.
But sometimes, it's like being a parent, and when your kid falls down, they got to get up on their own.
Yeah.
They got to crawl and learn how to get up on their own.
Indeed. And it's not like football where they reset at halftime and you get a whole new set of timeouts and things like that. So.
Or in baseball, you got 2 hours and 12 minutes between every pitch.
Indeed, absolutely.
I'm so glad to see the new clock on the pitchers.
Oh, that is help. Because there have been some pitchers who would walk so slowly around. And it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Little gamesmanship there, but what can you do?
Yeah.
Any other observations for that first half there, Coach?
No, I think I've shared everything.
Terrific.
You got anything, Andy?
All about
Turnovers, yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
And at some point we'll have to have Andy give us the scouting report on the freshman team, as his son did a good job. They went to overtime and ended up losing a tough game, but that shows a lot of resilience to make it there and work hard.
Yeah.
You want to read the You Make the Call, and then we'll step away for a few moments?
Sure, Mark. I thought this was an easy one, and the two of the officials thought it was a tougher one. But here we go. You make the call, Mark and Andy. During A10's attempt to pass the ball to A24.
Okay.
B20's foot is off the floor. The ball strikes B50's foot. Two choices on this one.
Okay.
A, this is kicking the ball violation, or is it B, this is nothing, you play on?
Good question. Well, we'll step away. We'll have a few messages from the MHSAA, and then I'll take my shot at seeing if I know what's going on there. And we will be right back. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball. They're up 35-21 at halftime over Skyline.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Let's see if I can get this You Make the Call right.
Okay, I'll read the scenario back to you one more time. During A10's attempt to pass the ball to A24, his teammate, B20's foot is off the floor. The ball strikes B40's foot. Is this a kicking the ball violation, or this is nothing and you play on?
I believe it's a kickball, is my understanding.
You're right, it's a kicking the ball violation.
At that point, it would be the other team's ball out of bounds, and they would inbound and continue with the play there, I believe.
Well, this is not in the rule book, but the staff in Lansing did a staff interpretation of this, and they state if the foot is moving, call a kick. If the foot is planted, it's accidental. The only exception would be if the player is running his or her back to the ball and the offense throws the ball into the defender's leg.
Gotcha. So if you're trying to throw it off of the person to get it back out of bounds, your ball.
Yes.
Good to know. Good to know. That's a good one. Always love learning more and trying to understand the officiating. It's a really tough aspect of the game, and we appreciate the officials. And again, if you watch and you think you can do better, or if you'd like to support the sport, please reach out to the MHSAA. That ball inbounded to Ellington for Pioneer. Pioneer with the 14-point lead. And over as Harrison into the far corner for Ellington. Ellington works his way off the top of the key. Ellington over onto the near wing. Ellington back over to Bailey. Now over to Harrison on the far wing. Harrison steps back from the arc. Harrison trying to work his way. Dishes it over to Ellington. Ellington just off the top of the key. Three-pointer and a good. Ellington with his first points of the game. That's a big three-pointer. So 38-21, Pioneer with the lead. 7:25 left to go. Sack has it on the near wing. Sack looking for a place to go. Boylan watching him. Tipped away to Dulogan. Dulogan back to Bailey. Dulogan over midcourt. Dulogan top the key. Over to Bailey on the near wing for Pioneer. Bailey gets it over to Dulogan down the near side of the paint. Up and rims out. And here comes Skyline. McBride down the far side of the court over midcourt. Pioneer has the 38-21 lead. Skyline with it. Seck on the near wing. Seck gets it over to Bird. Now McBride trying to put it into the paint for Seck, and he gets fouled. Dulogan picks up his third foul. First of the quarter. Richardson comes in to give Dulogan a breather. Skyline to inbound, baseline left. As Williams gets it inbounded, but a whistle. As that is going to be a foul on, I believe, Wall. A blocking foul. Excuse me, Seck. That's Seck's first foul. Over midcourt is Ellington. Ellington for Pioneer down the near sideline. Gets it top of the key to Harrison. Harrison down the near side of the paint. Harrison gets it back over to Bailey. Bailey over to Ellington on the far wing. Ellington down the far side of the paint. Trying a finger roll. Wouldn't go. Loose ball picked up by Boylan. Loose. Boylan gets it back again. Boylan at the free throw line. Ellington for three. Off the side of the rim. Picked up by Bird. Bird brings it in for Skyline. 6:17 left to go. McBride in the front court for Skyline, 38-21, 17-point lead for Pioneer. Seck has it on the near wing. Seck gets it to Bird, top of the key, now over to McBride on the far wing. McBride working against Richardson. McBride picks up the dribble, gets it back to Seck in the far corner. Seck working against Boylan on the far wing. Seck down the baseline. Seck into the near corner for Bird. Rips it around. There's McBride for three. That rims around, wouldn't go. Richardson with the rebound. Here comes Pioneer. Harrison in the front court. Into the paint. Stops. Sends it back to Richardson for three. Off the front of the rim, the glass. Bird with the rebound. Skyline the other direction over midcourt. McBride as he runs into Ellington. Everyone down on the court. There ends up being a foul. Whitridge looks like he's going to come in with Saito. Do not know who picked up that foul. That's Braylon Bird. So Harrison over on the far wing. Here comes Ellington. That's going to go over to Skyline. Harrison picks up the foul. That is his second. Peterson in for Skyline. 5:20 left to go here in the third. Still a 17-point lead for Pioneer. They've scored 3, and Skyline hasn't scored anything in this first 2 minutes, 45 seconds of the third. Williams over midcourt for Skyline. Ellington watching him. Williams gets it back over to Wall. Wall trying to work his way to the top of the key. Wall working against Saito. That moved over to Williams. Williams just off the far wing. Williams takes a three-pointer, and he hits it. Williams for 3. That's his second three-pointer. He has 6, and it's 36-24, 14-point lead for Pioneer. Ellington into the paint, but a timeout called as Pioneer wants to talk it over. 38-24. Both teams have 3 points now in the first 3 minutes and 24 seconds, or 15 seconds. Your thoughts on that as first couple minutes of the third quarter there, Coach?
Well, both teams are starting out in the man again. They're continuing that and doing it well. Looks like to me that Skyline offense might be becoming stagnant. By that I mean the ball is being moved on top, but other players are standing too much. You got to keep moving. You got to keep the spacing spread.
Sure.
And that way you're spreading out the defense. So I think that's got to really improve for Skyline to have some scoring opportunities.
Inbounded to Whitwidge. Whitwidge turns with the hook, wouldn't go. Bird with the rebound, headed the other direction. Here comes Bird for Skyline. Then over to Peterson. Peterson to Williams. Williams has it on the far sideline. Back to Peterson. Peterson off the top of the key. Over to Williams on the far wing. Williams work his way around the arc, down the near side of the paint. Trying to dish it off. Out of bounds. Pioneers ball, 4:24 left to go here in the third. 38-24. Pioneer with a 14-point lead. Ellington in the backcourt brings the head for Pioneer over midcourt. Ellington working against Williams. Now Whitridge gets it over to Harrison. Harrison over to Bailey on the far sideline. Bailey hands it off to Ellington. Ellington right in front of his own bench. Gets a screen from Whitridge. Ellington gets it back over to Harrison. Harrison into the paint. Up and in with the floater. Harrison has 16 points, and it's 40-24. Pioneer with the lead. Williams brings it over midcourt for Skyline. Top the key. Hand it off to Bird. Bird at the far elbow. Bird down as that's blocked. That will stay. Skyline ball, but Whitridge with the big block protecting the paint. 3:46 left to go here in the third. Bird to inbound, baseline left. Ooh, Saito has a bloody nose. Saito has to go off. So Sai will come in as Saito goes over to the trainers, and we hope he gets taken care of over there. Ball inbounded by Skyline. Sek has it on the far wing. Sek trying to get it underneath. There's a whistle. And I believe they're going to call that onside. That's his second. 3 on Pioneer, 2 on Skyline, and Skyline wants to talk it over. As Pioneers made it a lot tougher on Skyline to get into the paint in this second half. So both teams have not had a big offensive, they haven't had a lot of offensive success here in the third. What would you be telling your team on the sideline during the timeout?
Remain patient. Well, if we have a fast break opportunity, you always take it.
Sure, yeah.
And by that, I mean a numerical advantage, a 2-on-1, 3-on-2. But when you get into that offense, you got to spread that floor, keep your spacing, and a lot of times you just got to make one extra pass, and you'll get that something in the paint.
Indeed. Ball inbounded by Bird. Top of the key for Peterson. Now Williams trying to get it underneath. It's stolen away. Here comes Harrison. Harrison bounced past Ellington. Puts it up and in with a finger roll. Ellington now has 5 points, and it's 42-24. Ooh, tough luck as Seck ended up slipping down there. He popped up, he's okay, but that always looks no fun. Williams gets it over to Peterson on the far wing. Peterson trying to come down the far side of the paint. He picks up his dribble. Back to Seck at the top of the key. Seck down the far side of the paint. That basket wouldn't go. Hit the underneath of the rim, but a whistle and a foul. That is going to be on Ellington. So Ellington picks up his foul. So Ellington picks up his third foul. Fourth on Pioneer. One more in this quarter, and Skyline will be shooting free throws the rest of that quarter. Seck to the line. Puts up the first shot. Nothing but net on that one. So now Seck has 3 points. Looking to make it 4. There is a tie for the top point scorer for Skyline. Williams has 6 and Wall has 6. Both of those are on 2 3-pointers, 2 3-pointers apiece. Seck, that one bounces out. Whitridge had it, but that goes out of bounds, and that's going to be Skyline's ball. 3:05 left to go, 42-25. Pioneer with a 17-point lead. As Dunlop he had the most points of anyone in the JV game earlier. Now coming over on the near wing is McBride. McBride passes it over, out of bounds. Pioneer ball. 2:53 left to go here in the third. As Dunlop inbounds, bringing it ahead is Harrison. Harrison over midcourt. Harrison over to Richardson. Richardson into the paint. Richardson now Dunlop for 3. Off the rim, popped up high, pulled down by McBride. McBride over midcourt for Skyline. McBride. Looks like it was an alley-oop opportunity or just a high pass for Seck, and the timing just couldn't come together. It kind of looked like McBride was about to put it up for a huge alley-oop, but ball goes out of bounds. That is going to be Pioneers' ball. Side to inbound, baseline left. 2:35 left to go here in the third. Harrison over midcourt for Pioneer. Harrison over on the near wing as Dunlop has it. Dunlop gets it back to Harrison on the far wing. Harrison down to the paint, finger roll up and in. Harrison with 18 points, and it's 44-25. Pioneer with the lead. McBride over midcourt for Skyline. McBride working against Harrison, comes top of the key. Down the near side of the paint. Dished off as Wall had it, but a whistle and a foul. That is going to be a foul on Dunlop. So he picks up his first foul. That is going to put Wall to the line shooting, right? Because that's the 5th foul for Pioneer. So that should put Wall to the line shooting 2.
That's what I call a good foul. It's not a good foul when you send someone to the line, but he was playing very aggressive. He's a sophomore, and he was letting that player know he was not going to attack him off a dribble.
Indeed. First one is good for Wall. One more coming as it's 44-26. Wall leads all Skyline scores with 7 points, now 8 points. 44-27, again, 17-point lead for Pioneer. Harrison in the backcourt. Timeout called as the squads want to talk things over. 2:03 left to go here in the third. Pioneer now has 9 points in this third period as opposed to 6 for Skyline, which is how the lead has bloomed out. 3 timeouts left for both of these teams. Both squads talking things over. Is it hard when you have a 17-point lead to try and make sure to keep your team focused, keep them, not kind of getting a little careless because they have a big lead?
Well, yes, but that is an extension of, I look at your captains, your senior players
Sure, yeah.
that have been in this situation many times, and they got to know to keep their composure.
Bringing it ahead, here comes Harrison in the front court for Pioneer. Harrison has that off of a foot, and the foot was raised just as we saw. That was the you make the call, and it's a kick ball. As though we planned it. Richardson to inbound on the far sideline. He gets that over to Dunlop. Dunlop on the near sideline. Dunlop. Bounce pass over to Harrison. Harrison over into the near corner. That put up for three for Cy. Tipped away, but a whistle underneath. That looks like it's going to be on number 3, which is probably going to be Richardson. Well, there is a number 3. That's Williams on Skyline. Oh, Roberts, excuse me. That's going to be Roberts, and that put up and in. So Richardson has 4 points, and now Skyline has it. Williams in the front court. Gets it over to Wall. Wall steps back. Now over on the near wing to Williams. Williams down the near side of the paint. That went off of Harrison. 1:22 left to go here in the third. 46-27. 19-point lead for Pioneers. Sack trying to get to Williams, tipped away. As here comes Dunlop. Dunlop has it on the near wing. Back over to Richardson. Richardson down the near side of the paint. Underneath, that knocked away from Cy, but good job by Dunlop to get it back. Over to Harrison. Harrison top of the key, skies it to Whitridge. Whitridge in the paint. Whitridge puts up. The hook wouldn't go, but Dunlop with the rebound, taking it away. Here comes McBride for Skyline. McBride into the paint, puts it up, off the rim, wouldn't go. Out of bounds. That will be Pioneers' ball with 50.7 seconds left to go in the third. Richardson to inbound, baseline left, gets that in to Dunlop. Dunlop moves it over to Cy on the far sideline. Cy back over to Dunlop. Dunlop bringing ahead for Pioneer. Over midcourt, Cy coming down the far sideline. Contact, and it's going to be a foul, a blocking foul. So Seck picks up his third foul. 5 on Pioneer, 4 on Skyline with 39 seconds left to go here in the third. That will reset as we head into the fourth quarter. Cy gets it into the backcourt. Harrison over midcourt. Harrison taking his time, 33 seconds left to go. Pioneer in no hurry here as they have the 19-point lead. Seck right on top of Harrison. Harrison has it tipped away but keeps it in the front court. Harrison coming over on the far sideline. Harrison now backs down Seck. Harrison moves over to Richardson and gets it back. Harrison on the near wing into the near corner. Harrison over to Cy for 3. Cy, nothing but net on that one. Cy with his first points of the game. He has 3. And it's 49-27. 6 points for Skyline in that period. And Pioneer with 14 points. And so Pioneer really making things happen. As the Pioneers sideline really loves it.
Well, after 3 periods, Skyline is now up to 22 turnovers. Pioneer just 2.
That is an impressive low number of turnovers.
Very impressive. So they're taking care of the ball and taking advantage of those possessions.
Indeed. Take a look. Leading all scorers is Harrison. He has 18 points out there. Again, if we compare bench points, Pioneer with 6 and 4, that's going to be 10 bench points for Pioneer. On the other side, it's just 2. So Pioneer with the help off the bench as well. As we head into the fourth, any other thoughts heading into the fourth there, Coach?
Well, looking at the scoreboard, Pioneer outscored them 14-6 that quarter. to look at. Skyline's been averaging scoring 11 per quarter this season.
So they're about 6 points underneath that here
Yes,
at the
yes.
third.
And Pioneer averages about 15 a quarter.
They're just over that at 49. Appreciate that. Bringing it ahead is Wall, double team Wall. Gets it, that's stolen away by Harrison as Redder was looking for a place to go with it. Harrison, top of the key. Over to Dulogan, and that's going to be a travel. So 7:42 left to go here in the fourth. And Skyline will have the ball on the near sideline. Williams with it there. And inbounded, bringing it ahead is Wall. Over midcourt, Dulogan watching him there. Bounce pass to Sek on the near wing. Sek hands it off to Williams. Williams, top of the key, poked away by Harrison. Williams gets it back just over midcourt. Williams now into the near corner. Good job diving on the floor for Richardson. That pulled away by Wall. Battle on the floor, so both squads going down to the floor to get it. Skyline calls a timeout to maintain possession with 7:17 left to go. That's going to be 3 timeouts for Pioneer, 2 for Skyline. Left to go with 7:17 left here in the fourth. Both squads want to maximize this fourth quarter. Pioneer wants to get to 6-3 on the season with a big win versus an Ann Arbor opponent. Skyline would like to get to 3-6, trying to get some positive things happening there.
The third quarter, our shot clocks indicate Skyline only had 2 shot attempts for those 8 minutes.
Wow. Good defense by Pioneer. Sek has it on the baseline, puts it into the paint. That shot won't go, but I believe that's Peterson going to end up at the line, as that is going to be Dulogan with his 4th foul. So Dulogan in foul issues. Taking a look, Sek has 3 fouls for Skyline. For Pioneer, Ellington has 3, Dulogan with 4, and Harrison with 2. That shot put up by Peterson falls off to the near side of the rim. Dulogan goes out, and coming in (23), who I do not have. Maybe, no, that's not Kucinich. That's Saito, and he just changed his number on me. I thought he was number 11. Saito is number 11. I will effort to figure out who 23 is for Pioneer Varsity. I had that as Dulogan, but he's wearing number 13. First shot up and good. So Peterson with the point as that ball over onto the near wing. Pioneer with it. Head over to Whitridge, hands it back. Now over to Harrison. Harrison spinning into the paint. Harrison puts it up high off the glass, wouldn't go. Rebound by Peterson. Here comes Sek for Skyline the other direction. Sek spins himself, puts it high off the glass, little too strong. Pulled down by Peterson. Peterson puts it up and in. Peterson with 5 points in. It's 49-30. 19-point lead for Pioneer. Ball over to Ellington. Ellington coming down the near side of the paint. Ellington spins, puts it up off the front of the rim, wouldn't go. But that's going to be a foul on Williams. That is his 2nd foul. Ellington to the line. So he'll put up the first shot, hits off the near side, the back of the rim wouldn't go, falls off to the far side.
I think Anders Whitridge is playing a great game. You said his first points of the season, first points since 7th grade.
Yeah.
You know, he stands 6'8", and it looks like he's going to be playing baseball at Utica.
Nice. So that ball in, and it's 50-30 now. 20-point lead for Pioneers. Williams has it in the front court. Knocked away by Harrison. Harrison picks it up, Coming down the far side, Harrison into the paint, puts it up, off glass, comes down to the near side. Jump ball, possession arrow. Points Pioneer's way, so Pioneer will have it. They'll inbound baseline right. Look forward to seeing Whitridge in Pioneer baseball season, of course. Ball inbounded, Whitridge top of the key. Now hands it off, but off-ball whistle. Second foul on Skyline. As Sek goes out. So that was Sek's fifth foul. So leading defender and scorer for Skyline, he ends up, his evening's over with 3 points. That shot up and good, three-pointer by number 23 for Pioneer. See if we can figure out when John says who it is. Nope, John doesn't seem to know across the way. That ball bounced pass, stolen away. Here comes Ellington the other direction, over to number 23 and puts it up. Off the rim, wouldn't go, but there's a foul. Charge, that's gonna be on number 23 for Pioneer. 5:40 left to go. I recognize 23, I just cannot. I wonder if it's Crum. That pulled in here. Bringing ahead is Skyline. In the front court is Wall. Wall over on the near wing to Williams. Williams on the near side of the paint. Knocked away by Whitridge. Whitridge with another block. Coming ahead with it is Harrison. Harrison gets over to Richardson. Handing it off to Crum. Crum comes down. Gets it over to Ellington in the near corner. Back over to Harrison, top of the key. Harrison coming down, puts it up and in. Harrison with a game-high 20 points, and it's 55-30. 25-point lead by Pioneer. Williams in the front court for Skyline. Now Wall has it on the near wing. Wall comes to just off the top of the key. Wall trying to come down the far side of the paint. He steps back on the far wing. Gets over to Williams. Williams to the free throw line. Tipped away by Richardson. Richardson picks up the foul. That is going to be his second foul. 2 on Skyline, 3 on Pioneer with 4:47 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer with a 25-point lead. Williams to inbound. Now it's going to be Gutierrez to inbound on the near sideline. As that ball tipped away, Harrison gets to it. Harrison fires it back over. That taken away by number 10 for Skyline. Down. Bird has it. Bird trying to get into the paint. He gets fouled. 4:34 left to go here. Whitridge picks up his first foul. That puts Bird to the line. As Bird puts up the first shot off the front of the rim, would not go. One more coming for Bird. Bird puts it up and in. Bird has 6 points, and it's 55-31. Ellington brings it down the far side of the court for Pioneer. Harrison going, and he gets fouled as he cuts to the basket. Bird picks up his second foul, 4 on Pioneer, 3 on Skyline. Pioneer with the 24-point lead. Richardson top the key, over to Whitridge. Whitridge now hands it over to Harrison. Harrison skies it as Whitridge underneath. Whitridge dishes it back out, trying to get to Ellington, and that will be over and back. Good opportunity as Whitridge grabbed it, and he was double-teamed underneath. Just a little high pass, and that turns into a turnover. Was that about the third one for Pioneer all game long? The ball inbounded by Gutierrez all the way back. Williams has it right along his baseline right. Harrison with some full court pressure with 4:09 left to go. Over midcourt is Williams. Williams. Now passes over to Bird. Bird on that far wing down the baseline. Bird spins with it. Ellington watching him. Off the rim, pulled down by Richardson. Richardson gets it ahead to Ellington. Ellington down the far side of the court. Ellington down. Dishes it off. Whitridge over to 23. And off the back of the rim, trying to pull it down. That grab by number 10 for Skyline. Here comes Peterson. Peterson down the paint. Peterson trying to put it up. That's a block by Whitridge. I haven't kept track, but boy, it seems like he's had at least 4 or 5 blocks this game.
Yeah, that'd be a good number to have. I would guess at least 4.
So Skyline to inbound, baseline left. Harrison goes out. Logan in. Harrison gets a nice round of applause, 20 points so far. As that ball moved over to Bird. Bird trying to work a way around is Williams. Williams dishes off to Peterson. Peterson puts it in from the near side of the paint, and Peterson has 7 points. Pioneer quickly ahead, 55-33. Pioneer with the lead. Ellington has it on the far sideline, gets it back to 23. And moved over onto the near wing as Richardson has it. Richardson back over to Ellington. Ellington just to the right side of the top of the key. Now Logan down the baseline and off the rim, near side of the rim wouldn't go. Skyline the other direction. Williams has it, stops, trying to dish it off on the baseline. Bounce pass as that's put up. Rolls around and in. Gutierrez with his first points of the game. He has 2 points and it's 55-35. Back to a 20-point lead for Pioneer. 23 has it for Pioneer on the far sideline. Over to Richardson, back to number 23. He has it on the near wing. Over to Richardson, top of the key. Richardson works his way. Now there's a three-pointer. That ends up just a little short of the mark by Ellington. 2:25 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer by 20. Peterson to inbound, baseline right. Peterson gets it into Williams. Williams brings it ahead for Skyline. 2:22 left to go. Now Williams trying to work against Ellington, moves it over to Peterson on the near wing. Peterson against Richardson. Peterson with the shot from the near side of the paint. That popped down, then popped out. Coming ahead with it is Ellington. Whitridge had the rebound. Ellington on the near wing. Ellington comes down the near side of the paint, puts it up off glass and in. Ellington with 8 points, and it's 57-35. That ball ahead. Skyline moves it over to Williams. 1 minute, 50 seconds left to go. Williams on the near wing. Williams now dribbles down the near side of the paint, trying to dish it off. Ellington with it the other direction for Pioneer. Over to number 23. That put up off glass, rims off the front of the rim. Ellington up and in. Ellington has 10 points and it's 59-35. Pioneer back to a 24-point lead. Skyline has it as Gutierrez over to Peterson on the far sideline. 1:21 left to go. Now some of the bench players, Pioneer looking to empty the bench. That off the glass wouldn't go for Bird. Whitridge with the rebound. And now Pioneer, as I said, empties the bench. So Crum is out there, as well as Kaiser. Buys, 23. Is that number, another 23? Can you have two 23s?
No.
So I didn't think so, so he can't come in. Because the young gentleman with the red shoes wears 23 as well, so. Thought that would be confusing for me if you had two players with the same number on there. As bringing it ahead is Kaiser. Kaiser in the backcourt, stolen away. And put up by McBride. Wouldn't go. With 1:03 left to go. And Cy in there for Pioneer. Inbounded as Johnson shot there off the side of the rim, pulled down by Gutierrez. Gutierrez puts up the hook, up and in. Gutierrez with 4 points, and it's 59-37. Sy brings the head for Pioneer with 44 seconds left to go. Sy in the front court, comes top the key, now over. That put up by Kaiser, three-pointer wouldn't go. Ball loose in the paint. Everyone diving down to get it. Pioneer with the ball as Kaiser got the ball, but a whistle. 29 seconds left to go. So buys the inbound on the far sideline as Buys brings it in. Coming down the far side, knocked away, out of bounds.
Harrison, how many?
So 21.9 seconds left to go. Side inbound, baseline right. Gets that in, working away around as Selby with it. Selby over to Kaiser. Kaiser for three. That falls away. Side trying to get the rebound, but that pulled down by Gutierrez. Gutierrez the other direction. Now into the paint. Put up. Gutierrez gets the rebound off glass. Wouldn't go, but McBride puts it up and in. 5 points for McBride, and that will do it. So 20-point win by Pioneer. 59-39. Points for Pioneer. Whitridge with 4. Bailey with 4. 20 for Harrison. 4 for Richardson. 10 for Ellington. 3 for Side. 3 for Saito. 8 for Dula Ogun. And 3 for number 23. So that would be 7, 10, 13 bench points for Pioneer. On the other side, McBride with 10. Bird with 6. 6 for Williams, 7 for Peterson, 4 for Gutierrez, 3 for Sek, and 8 for Wall. So bench points would be 11 for Skyline. So 13 for Pioneer, 11 for Skyline. It's good 20-point win for Pioneer. Next game for this Pioneer men's basketball team is going to be versus Huron away. That'll be on the 16th at 7 p.m. You got some stats
Sure
and
do.
some thoughts there?
Well, got a couple of notes here. That was a good physical game in the paint, as I mentioned in the first quarter. And just an example, I don't know if you noticed, 30 seconds to go. It's a 20-point game. There were 3 players on the floor going for a loose ball.
Absolutely, all diving and
And the game
trying to get
had
stuff.
already been determined, but that shows intensity and again that mental toughness.
Yeah, lots of hustle points, lots of good hard work. So.
But Harrison ended up with 20 points and 14 in the paint. He got
it's
there.
unofficial, though, what I can get.
And the low turnovers was a key factor. And every coach loves seeing those low numbers.
Indeed.
And Sek fouled out with about 6 minutes to go. And as you mentioned, he's our leading scorer, leading rebounder. Not having his best game, but still, you want your best players on the floor.
Indeed.
So I looked at, let's see what I got here. At the end of 3 quarters, I don't think I mentioned this, but Pioneer was out rebounding them 19-9.
That's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah. Okay. The rebound war, and both coaches mentioned how important that is, and hearing that a lot in my pregame interviews.
Indeed.
Pioneer ended up with 17. Skyline had 26, so they won that battle. At the line, Pioneer got there 7 times, knocked down 6 for 86%. Skyline got to the line 12 times, made 8, which is 67%. So the turnover was 26-3.
Wow.
So
3 is an incredibly low turnover number, and 23 is a big one. So that's just.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a team with 3.
Yeah.
If we got 1 per quarter, that was fantastic. But the battle in the paint was 32-14, won by Pioneer. You gave the bench points once again. Pioneers players off the bench, meaning the non-starters, contributed 13 points, and non-starters for Skyline contributed 11. So that number was pretty balanced.
Indeed.
3-point field goals of the total points, 21 were from the arc for Pioneer, 15 from the arc for Skyline.
Good job there for all teams. So just a good overall game, good hustle, and Pioneer really taking advantage of the younger Skyline team. That Skyline team, if they can continue to hold this team together, they will be good with this experience later on.
Oh.
But Pioneer taking advantage of a young team here today.
Yes, yep, and but it was still a good physical, intense game.
Absolutely.
What you like to see from both teams are young.
Absolutely.
Rivalries and the competitiveness. I heard the point difference in games. Really interesting.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the Ann Arbor rivalries are huge. We appreciate sharing a booth with CTN. Their broadcast will be up on YouTube tomorrow, so check that out if you want a different broadcast of the game. We're always Varsity at 7 o'clock. We will have Michigan women's hockey versus Indiana Tech at India. Throw him in a job he probably doesn't want. Coach Aaron's our color commentator. Christina Wiseman, our camera person. My name is Mark Wiseman. I did the play-by-play. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic evening. Good night, everyone.